Macduff Parkway. The construction of Macduff Parkway continues, and the developers of the project have made considerable progress in the last year. At this point, the bridge over railroad tracks is the focus of the road construction. The Macduff Parkway extension and the development of over 1,300 homes in the West Village were approved in 2007. In fact, the actual design plans for the road were approved almost 10 years ago. Building Macduff was estimated at $6 million in 2007. The cost in today's numbers is roughly $1.5 million more. This is a road being built by a private construction company on their land and not on city land with taxpayer money. Prior to approving the project in 2007, the city took citizen input and it was deemed that the road was not to be a cut-through or a 4-lane parkway, but be 2 lanes with a series of 4-way stops so as to prevent through traffic. With 10 years having gone by since those decisions were made, second guessing is sure to happen. But it is also important to remember that any changes to this already approved plan would have been at taxpayer expense with no money to pay for it, and would have held up construction for an unknown amount of time. The traffic on 54 has been a concern since the Walmart and the Home Depot were built years ago. The traffic analysis done in 2014 quantified the traffic going through the 54 West corridor at 36,000 cars a day. The land where the overlook is now had been zoned for commercial development for decades. During the downturn in the economy, the land went into foreclosure and the council offered to buy the land, but the price was cost prohibitive. The construction that is taking place at the overlook now is what is legally allowed to be built without any variances or rezonings by City Council. Both 54 and 74 are state-owned and operated roads. The traffic flow along those roads is GDOT's priority. A couple of other facts to come out of the analysis were that the state has long-term plans for 54 West to be 6 lanes. The other is that the intersections of 54 and Plantera and 54 and Macduff can be improved. If the improvements are to be made in a timely manner, they must be projects initiated and paid for by the city. The city is now in possession of engineered plans for both of those intersections, and construction for both of these areas can be completed once we have the money to pay for them. However, there is a sense of urgency given to these projects because the state is planning on repaving all of 54 this year. Like the spillway, these 2 projects are on the SPLOST list for Peachtree City. There is a constant dialogue with GDOT about the traffic at the intersection of 54 and 74, and we will work with them to develop a plan that will work for both entities, but ultimately the decision is theirs. With vacant land just across the border in Coweta, the prospect of additional traffic along 54 West is inevitable. Planners from Coweta have been a part of past discussions and will continue to be included in future discussions. Sales taxes in Fayette County accounted for $6 million in our budget. In order to avoid a property tax increase, retail in Fayette County needs to be viable. But the quality of the retailers that our city attracts is very important, especially as online sales continue to grow.